Okay, let's start with the chapter 1 introduction of the first book, HTML and CSS. Okay, so this chapter typically will talk about what is the HTML, what is the CSS, and how website works, how 3W works. Okay, okay, first one, introduction. So the first question is that what is HTML used for? Here, HTML is a program language, or we can say it's a markup language, because it's a lot like a generic program language. So HTML is only used for web programming. HTML is a hypertext markup language, so to represent hypertext. So that means it's not only like what we have understand the text. So it can be anything, can be maybe a image, can be a video, and it can be anything. So it's like hypertext. So markup language. So because we want to arrange different elements, so we later we talk about those things. We talk about is elements. We want to arrange them in a web page on web page. So we have to differentiate different types. So later we talk about this is called elements or text. So to differentiate different types, whether it's a text or the image or something video or audio, so we need to use some text to define them. Okay, and then the browser will understand how to translate, how to represent those information on on the screen. Okay, via the browser. Browser is also software, so it can run the HTML files and then show the results on the software on the screen based on the software. Okay, so here you can find out we draw a figure. We in the center we show is the structure, and then structure we list different types. So let's look at the contains text, lists, links, images, tables, forms, audio, and video. So you can just think about a web page is like this. We have a lot of contents, and then we want to it contain these types, these different contents. But how we arrange those contents in a consistent way, for example, whether you can show image, whether you can show a list, whether you can show image, whether you can play a video, audio. So we need to arrange those contents in a structured way. So we said these things are structured. So how to organize them in a structured way? So we need to add text, or we identify, okay, this is to show a text, this is to show a video. So we tag means like just a name, correct? We name it, or we is like a ID or name. So we name these things. We first tell the browser, because the browser will run your HTML code and then to generate a HTML page, correct? Web page. So the browser will read this text contents, means markup language, based on this markup language, and then we understand how to show, where to show, and show the size, correct? For example, video and audio, and in which type. For example, you want to show the text. Okay, that's what I show in different paragraphs, where to start, where to end, where to enhance, and like this thing, correct? Well, maybe you use different fonts, italic, or use bold font. List, you want to list different items, and then how to list them. You want to add the index in front, or just no need to add them. So it's ordered or unordered. Links, you want to link to other web page in the same website, or link to another external website. So you want to open a new window to show the links, should link the web page, and you want to how to show the image in different formats, and how to create a table in a website on web page, and play video, audio, and so on. So that means the HTML will help us to define this contents, structure contents, and then we show them in a proper way. This is the idea. So HTML is used to build web pages. Okay, so this is the basic function to create a web page. Of course, this is the most basic functionalities, and then later CSS, JavaScript, jQuery will help us to add more functionalities, make it more interesting. Okay, this is the basic relationship among the four components. Okay. So next question is about what is CSS used for. So HTML and CSS is are the main topics of the first module, right? The first book. So CSS is cascading style sheets. Okay, so you understand based on this name, you know, okay, is cascading style sheet is like we have a sheet of paper, but we draw different rows and columns, and then divide that paper into different divisions, different regions. In different regions, we want to show different things. Some may be used to show images, some may be play videos, some may play audios, some may be show text and images and so on. Right? So this is means we want to handle or control the overall style. Right? How you divide the page into different regions, make it has a good looking. So that's the control to control the style, and also the layout. That means, for example, we want to show the background in a dark blue or something like that kind of background. So it's like a general, the overall, the big picture. So define in a global way. So we can use the style sheets, cascading style sheets. Okay, cascading means maybe just like embedded, you can think about. So one, and then inside there's another one, and then another one. So that's the idea. Okay, let's continue for the details. So that's why we added these two circles. The first one is the presentation. The second one is layout. Okay, so presentation, that means how you will show the different elements. For example, with each color, which background, which font which font to use to show the text and so on. So like this presentation, and then the other one is layout. That means where to show the results, where to show the elements. Okay. So these two things can be defined globally by the cascading style sheets. Okay, style sheets. Okay, this is the introduction about the CSS. So HTML, CSS, that's the main topic of this two module. This one module, these two components. And the HTML can help us to defines a basic, or we can say the plain HTML web page, and then cascading style sheets CSS can help us to add the styles, add the different flexibilities to the web page, so you can have a more interesting web page. Okay, so next one we'll continue with the web mechanism. Okay. So here we first show you that a user can access the web pages located in any place over the world. And for the first example, for example, a user in Vancouver visit leader.in in Bangalore. Okay. So the second example show you a user in Stockholm visit charters.com.au in Sydney. Right? from Europe to Australia. Okay. The third one show you example. That means it also can be within the same country, kind of in the USA. So a user in New York visited google.com in San Francisco. So last one, just from Europe to Asia. Right? A user in Barcelona visited Sony.jp in Tokyo. So from these four examples, you will know, okay, people can access from, for example, within the same continent or different continent or within the same country. Just like that means why people can access website located in different locations, how it works. So this is the next question we want to answer. So here we give one example. For example, the user, the person in Cambridge in England, so want to visit a website in France, in Paris. Okay, so how it works. So the first one, you will connect to the web via an internet service provider. For example, here we use cable one, correct? We use cable one, we use AT&T. So this is called internet service provider. Okay, you first do like this. So we need to consider, for example, okay, the ISP will provide the internet access service to you, but how it will help you to locate the server to send the request, because we know, okay, user need to send a request to a server, but where is the server? Correct? Because maybe you will just input not the IP address, is the URL. So it's URL. So you just use letters, characters, rather than use the IP address. So that means we need to translate. We need to translate from the URL to IP address. Okay. So the second step is that, so in the Cambridge, you will just send the request to the ISP, and the ISP will contact the DNS server. DNS is domain name system servers, because we said we need to translate from the URL to IP address. Okay? So the DNS, we then located in London, will provide such service, and then we translate your URL to IP address. Okay. So after you got the IP address, and then we can continue to send the request to the server. So you can find that's the next step. Okay, now we know, okay, the IP address is headed to Paris. Okay, it's headed towards Paris, and then where is the server? We know. Okay, send the request to that server. So your computer use the number means the IP address. So we need to mention here IP address. In the past we use the 4 components, and then each component we have 3 digits. Okay, 3 digits. So in total you can only have 12 digits. But now we use IP, that's IPv4, the 4th version. Now we use IPv6. So in fact we can have 32 characters. So that means we have a much larger domain range to represent, to differentiate different servers, okay, connected to the website, to the internet. Okay, now we are using IPv6. So anyway, you have that number means the IP. So based on this IP, you can locate the server, and then we can send the request to that server. Okay. So the last step is that, because you send the request to that server, and then server will respond to your request. So you want to access that website, and then it will show the home page. or just of course it's based on your URL. Maybe you don't want to access the home page, you already prefer the maybe some page, some specific page in the website, and then they will show, correct, show data contents. So they will send the data contents to you, the HTML, the code, and then we'll run that code in your browser and then show those results on your browser. Okay, so this is the procedure. That means all we said in the syllabus. Okay, we want to know the mechanism of the internet, and then based on this mechanism we understand during the programming and help us to code as well. So this is the most important thing. That means you know how it works. Basically you can think about this is like a CS mode. C is the client, S is the server. So server will just respond to request. Client will just send a request. And then in between, we may have some other servers to provide the routing, right? You know where to send the request. So like this one, we use the DNS, domain name service. So you know where is the server. So you will translate the URL to the IP address. Okay, this is the three important components in this chapter. You can read the book, have a more detailed understanding, and you can also find some other books or other websites, resources, or even lectures to just understand this introduction. What is HTML? What is CSS? And how how internet works. Okay. Okay. Also, this concluded this chapter, and then I will also announce the send announcement. So due to the first syllabus video, so I made a video. So it lasted for 1 hour and 20 minutes around. So it is very big. It's about 10 gigabytes, and then I think I need to divide it into smaller ones. So maybe it takes some time to show up in Canvas. So, but you can just learn this chapter first, and then I believe it will be done latest by tomorrow morning. Right? Okay, I will just keep uploading. Okay, this is conclude the first chapter, and then we'll continue with the next chapter.